It's that time again. It's time for another Saturday night special where we talk about everything rockhounding related. This past week, man, the Spokane Rock Rollers tailgate show was awesome. What can I say? Very stoked with, well, really the two things that I picked up at the show. This thing back here, which I've already taken it apart, and it's great. It's great. So the motor that I got with it does still work, and I'm going to actually be giving that to a buddy of mine. He'll use it on a project. I did fully disassemble this thing, and I think we could look at that. Look at it here shortly, because it's kind of interesting how these are put together. Now, I do already have my plan in place for this. Now, if we look at the two sides of the housing, the way Lortone designed this is pretty smart in my opinion. So this is what it looks like on the inside. We have bearing isolators which go in here just like that. That receives the bearing which goes on the arbor shaft, which the arbor shaft's in pretty good shape. I did clean this guy up some, and it's going to need a little bit more, but overall, very happy with this, and I do have, well, I have my plans for it. So right now, the next thing that I need to get for this arbor is some bearings. Now, the bearings that it came with, they are, they've seen better days. We can kind of see here, this is what the bearings look like. The thing that you're going to want to note is, well, they're not, how would you say that? There's a concentric wear on it, being thinner there and there. So these bearings are done. One of the nice things about these is that they are fully rebuildable. You can jump over on Kingsley North and buy new isolators. You can buy new bearings. I don't know if you can buy a new arbor shaft, so preferably you get something where the threads on the ends are not all gummed up and mushed up. But yeah, and there's that. Now, I've been planning for this. I've been planning for the second arbor, because I have this idea of what I want to do with the shop and what I want it to look like, and having this arbor, put those there. Having this arbor has been something I've wanted for a while, so I knew I was going to find one eventually. So I already have a motor for it. This is a motor that I picked up off of Facebook Marketplace, and this is a 3/4 horsepower motor. Same as the other arbor that I have, although that is a farm duty motor. Marathon makes a good motor. So currently into this future arbor build, 150. I paid 100, 250. And I already have my wheels that I picked up last year, knowing that this is going to happen someday. Oh, actually, before I show you the wheels that I'm going to put on this, it did come with a couple. It came with a lapping wheel, which I got to get this gross foam off, but that could come in handy. That would be fun for a future project. I mean, get this stuff off, and it is flat. It also came with its own, one of the Lortone drums. Now, I have never seen one of these. And if we compare it to a expandable, let me grab an expandable real quick. I do have the Lortone branded expandables over on the other arbor, and so we have these thick rubber wheels, and they expand. This, however, is not like that. It's more friction fit. And what I didn't know about these is this. So we just have a piece of foam here. We just have this foam, and it's almost like two little cake pans, basically, make up the wheel. I have never seen one of these in person. I've never taken one apart, so I had no clue that that's kind of how they functioned, I guess. Which, I mean, that's perfectly fine. In a way, it's kind of a smart way of doing it. So, the wheels that I already have for this. Are you ready? Are you ready? Some of you have already seen these. So we have a 140 and a 220 diamond centered wheel. Now, I've used these some, and to use them I have to take my expandable drums off of my Arbor and put these on. A little bit of a pain in the butt to be changing out the wheels. But let me just say, if you've only ever used electroplated wheels, running a centered wheel is amazing. Amazing. And these, although they are pricey, last forever. Forever. I think, oh geez, I'm going to forget his name. The guy from Black Opal Direct, he's running centered wheels, and I think he's had his for 12 years. And I believe we're at 6 mil of centering on there. So these are these are heirloom wheels. So the 140, 220 will go on this Arbor, and that is going to play into my future machine plans. Because the plan is to have the other Arbor set up with the expandable drums. Because sometimes having that big space, being able to run all these different belts is really, really nice. Having these big, heavy, hard wheels over on that Arbor setup means that on a future 6-wheel machine, I don't have to have electroplated wheels. I don't have to have any hard wheels. I can purely run soft wheels like this, where we have the, you know, we have a foam soft wheel. So, and I'm going to try, although this is a 6, this is a 6-inch that Kyle gave me, I am going to try to only stick with 8-inch wheels. So I will have my hard wheels on this Arbor, and then on a 6-wheel machine build, I can run higher grits. So I can start, what? It probably makes sense to start with a 220 soft wheel and do something like that. I know I have a 220 hard here. I don't know. So since I have a 220 wheel here, probably the next logical progression of a 6-wheel soft wheel would be like, what? It would be like a 400, 600, 800, 1200, 3000, 14,000. Is that kind of a decent progression? Something like that, perhaps, or even 600, 800, 1200, 3000, 14,000, 50,000 for soft wheels. But I'm getting things together. I'm going to get some bearings ordered and get that guy up and running. And I'm beyond stoked about this build. All of the other stuff for the Arbor is totally fine. You know, it's got a 3-speed pulley in there, and I'll slap a pulley on that guy, and it'll be good. It'll be a more low-profile machine build versus my my big expandable drum setup. But I'm very, very happy about that. That wasn't the only thing that I got, though, at the show. I picked up all of the mineralogical records from like 1970 to 1998. They're what... Living next to a busy road is max level annoying. I picked up all of the mineralogical records from 1970 to 1998. There was a couple that were missing, and a couple were water damaged, but otherwise they are perfect. And I don't think people understand. You may not understand. Maybe you're a reader of the mineralogical record, maybe you're not, but these are amazing. And I just want to show you something here. Okay, so this is one that I particularly love, the mineralogical record, January, February 2002. Butte, Montana. I love Butte, Montana. It is such a cool town, but like maybe, yeah, it's just, these are so high quality. They're beautifully done. They always have like unique artwork in them. They are incredibly well written, and they're just, it's a thing to be treasured, right? It is, to be able to go and research Butte and find all of this stuff out there in the world would be incredibly, incredibly hard. Butte, Montana being a mining town. But yeah, it's just, they're incredibly in-depth articles, different topics covered, high quality, ultra high quality color photos in Mineralogical Record. And just, I can't say enough good things about it. Now, what are some of the alternatives, right? Well, first off, you may have noticed the lack of ads. One thing they've always done is they've kind of put all these ads just in the back, so they're less intrusive to the reading of it. Well, if we compare apples to apples, I guess, we have a Mineralogical Record from 2018, and we have a Rock and Gem from 2018. Now, I don't want to run Rock and Gem into the ground, but these do not necessarily age well. They're just on a different tier. We have boxed wine and fine wine. We have what's another good comparison? If you have read Rock and Gem starting from the 70s till today, there's been different eras, and it has ebbed and flowed over time. Me and my wife Sarah, we have our podcast, which is the previously Rockhounding podcast. Don't worry, we'll put up more episodes, where we've been reading Rock and Gem magazine from the 1970s and 80s, just to have a better understanding of things. And I gotta say, guys, there's always some very poorly written articles, lots of typos, lots of mistakes, and it's a lower effort publication. And even bringing it into today, they kind of phone it in. They kind of phone it in, and it is a very ad heavy publication, right? These are very, we might have some neat articles, but they are very, it's a lot of ads. I'm flipping through here, barely landing on articles, right? So, I would say this is a more newsstand kind of a publication versus the Mineralogical Record, which it's like if Rock and Gem ages like milk, this ages like fine wine. Just extremely well written. Like, you will not find errors and typos in here, and if anything, you will find amazing artwork, amazing historical photos, well-written articles that are super in-depth, some of the highest quality photos that you're going to find, and they really are, it's just the best. It's the best, like, they cover such a huge range of topics, and the way I intend on using this, now that I have these decades of Mineralogical Records, one of the nice things that they do is that on their website, they have every single author of an article and article indexed, and it's searchable. So now, when I want to look up a topic, hypothetically, oh wait, yeah, Butte, Montana. We're going to go to Butte, Montana, type it in, find the exact issue in their directory, and I can pull it off of my bookshelf, and I can read about these places, these minerals, these whatever localities before we visit. So it's kind of like use their database and then pull it off of my shelf now. So, and I know people are going to point this out. These are very different price points on these. Where's the price on here? We're $5.99 for Rock and Gem versus Mineralogical Record being $18. So, yeah, I'm just They're so cool. They're so cool. What can I say? I'm a book lover. I want to save every single book that I possibly can, and I'm trying to do this for a very good reason. Now, here on the channel, I've had a number of discussions here, Saturday Night Special, about AI-generated content, things like that. Now, I'm trying to acquire all of these books, all of these magazines, this library for myself, because I'm finding that it is one of the few truly trustworthy sources to learn from. I've seen in the past couple of months multiple times where somebody has used shared information that came from AI-generated garbage blog websites that pertain to rocks, minerals, geology, which that is a thing now. There's a couple that I can think of where, they have thousands of articles about whatever, geology, every rock-related subject to show ads. So people are reading AI-generated articles and reposting what they've read to the internet, and AI searches the internet for information that it generates more AI-generated articles from, and we have this like feedback loop where AI information will become more AI information, and it's like a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy, and we just start to produce garbage. We start to produce garbage. So I'm building this library out so that I can have these verified, legitimate sources for information that is not user-generated, because, Wikipedia, Mindat, Facebook, random websites that you have no idea who the creator is, or maybe you do. It just becomes this loop of, you have a website, you use AI to generate the articles, AI might be looking at those articles to generate more articles. This is the way to go. This is the way to go. Wow. Thank you guys so much. I'm looking forward to getting this thing all squared away. I got to get some bearings ordered. And yeah, that. Well, I hope you guys like this. Go check out the videos this week from the Spokane Rock Rollers Tailgate Show. Go check out the video about saw oil. I think that's a very good video. And we will leave this one here. I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I will catch you on the next video.